More now with Johnathan Cahn, author of the new book, The Dragon's Prophecy, Israel, the Dark Resurrection, and the End of Days. You also talk about the Sea People and also Sar Paros. So what's the significance of the Sea People and Sar Paros?
Yeah, well, a fascinating thing. And it's kind of like once you see this, you can't unsee it. You know, one of the big issues in the world, of course, is against Israel is Palestine. It's used to just rile up hatred against Israel all over. Well, the amazing thing is when you look at it in the spiritual realm, you pull away this veil. What does the enemy do? The enemy is an imitator of God. He imitates the things of God to substitute. Well, God, the Bible says, resurrected the nation of Israel. An ancient nation resurrected it. So the enemy, what would he do? He would resurrect an ancient nation. What is that ancient nation? It would be an enemy of Israel. The ancient arch enemy of Israel were the Philistines. And so could this happen? The amazing thing is that the people now, and we got to pray for all people. It's not about the people. They don't know what they're doing. But the people who are the center of this, which are the Palestinians, the word Palestinian literally means the Philistines. And actually, when you follow this through, actually, when Israel came back in the world, this other resurrection was happening. And the thing is that even if the Palestinians do not call themselves Palestinians in Arabic, the word is Philistine or Philistini. Every single thing that was happening in ancient times, it is replaying. And even what happened on October 7th is a replay linked to the Philistines. Even the place, where the Philistines actually were headquartered was called Philistia or Pilashet. And today it has a different name. It's called the Gaza Strip. So now let me give you threw in the Sar Paras. So this is really cool. I'll give a quick thing on this. The Bible speaks of an entity from ancient times called the Sar Paras. It's in the book of Daniel. This entity is spiritual, it is demonic, and it is focused on stopping the purposes of God for Israel, particularly in the last days. Well, when you translate the word Sar Paras, it comes out to the ruler or general of Iran. So literally, when you look at world events today and you see Iran is the arch enemy of Israel today, behind everything, behind October 7th, behind Hezbollah, right now what's happening in the news, there's a spiritual component. The Bible says there's an entity behind it, but everything you watch in the news today, when you remove the veil, it's there. So that's what the Dragon's Prophecy is opening up.
And you reveal a connection between the Temple Mount and October 7th, even 9/11. So what's the connection?
Yeah. I mean, people don't realize this, but first of all, the ground zero of a prophecy is the Temple Mount. That's where it all has to happen. That's where the temples come. That's where God, it says that the Messiah is going to rule. That's Revelation, the Antichrist, all there. And so you would expect there to be a warfare over it, spiritual warfare. No Jew is allowed to go there and pray according to this. So it's kind of like the enemy has that mount to prevent anything from happening. Well, people don't realize this. At the beginning of that year, when this all happened, something happened. There was a rumor that Jewish people were going to celebrate Passover on the Mount. So on Passover, a riot breaks out. I mean, all hell breaks out on the Temple Mount. At that moment, Hamas says, we're going to have revenge on you for this. And the revenge was October 7th. Even Hamas even called it the Al-Aqsa flood. That's what this was. In other words, it was all linked to the Temple Mount, which is what you would expect if the enemy is going to war over that mount. So people don't realize that. And I'll just throw this in. Right after 9/11, Osama bin Laden issues a statement, just like Hamas did. Hamas said this is because of the Temple Mount. After September 11th, Osama bin Laden issues a statement, and he says basically the same words, that it's because Israel was going to take the Temple Mount. So even that, when you look at it from what the Bible says, the dragon versus the purpose of God, it's all there.
Johnathan, finally, what do you predict will happen next? What's the next great event? What's the significance for our viewers?
Well, the next big prophetic event from the Bible is Ezekiel 38 and 39. We're watching that all line up. The other thing is that we saw the greatest outbreak of anti-Israel, anti-Semitic hatred ever, widespread, and even in America. Well, that's prophetic, because the Bible says that this is going to happen. The nations are going to come against Israel. And it's the younger generations, which is particularly pro-Hamas. So we're actually watching all these things line up. And so that we would expect continued the hatred of Israel, alliances of Israel, and, watch Iran, of course. And at the same time, while that's happening, the Bible says that, the dragon not only wars against Israel, He wars against the rest of her children. That's the church. That's you. That's me. That's all believers. So there's two wars going on, and we have to be ready to fight both of them, one for us in the spirit. So the last part of the book is what do we do? Because there is a war against every human being. And how do we overcome? Because we are called to overcome.
Okay, so keep focused on the Bible and the spiritual realm. The book is The Dragon's Prophecy, Israel, the Dark Resurrection and the End Days. It's out September 3rd. Where can people get a copy, Johnathan?
Literally, you can get it. It's gonna be literally everywhere. So wherever you go, from Walmart to Barnes and Noble, Amazon has it right now. Every place online has it. It's literally everywhere.
Okay, Johnathan Cahn, it's a pleasure talking with you. May God continue to bless you and your ministry.